Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, kind of a low-key video today. Today, I'm with my good friend Balak. Balak, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Balak.
Yeah, Balak is actually the Season 2 and 4 Pixelmon champion, which is funny because I'm the Pixelmon Season 1 and 3 champion. So, we decided to kind of just get together and rank the new Pixelmon Arcadian forms, which can be found on HEXMC. If you're interested in playing the server goes out fully public on May 18th. IP in the description if you're watching this video after 18th, the IP will be in the description. If you want to get just kind of early access to it, you can buy their beta period pass, which their Discord will be linked in the description as well. But without further ado, they have these new unique Pokemon forms. They're going to be coming out with more later down the line. They got all kinds of different plans. But for starters, they introduced 4 Arcadian forms. So Balak and I are going to go through and we're going to be ranking them on how we think how viable they will be in single battles specifically. So, any thoughts, Balak, or?
I'm just excited to. I'm excited to rank them.
Yeah,
because they're really cool.
They are very cool. They are very cool. And I do want to just kind of give a special shout out to the owners and the staff on the server. It's been a super fun time to play, and I think you guys really did very well, not only with like the design aspect of how these forms look, but a lot of the stat distribution. So everything that's said by me and Balak, it is our predictions. We are very experienced in competitive single battles. I've been doing competitive Pokemon since Gen 5. Balak, were you Gen 5 as well, or Gen?
Yeah, it was Gen 5.
Gen 5. Okay, yeah. So we've both been doing competitive since Gen 5. Obviously, we could totally be wrong about these predictions. This is just a fun speculation. Even the smartest Pokemon battlers get stuff wrong. Everyone thought Iron Boulder was gonna be good. Look where that ended up. So
yeah.
You know, we're just gonna see how it goes and just give our honest opinion on competitive viability. We're not gonna be giving our opinion on like anything else, just how viable they are in competitive. So Balak, if you want to start it off, what do we think of Arcadian Arcanine Fire and Ice type?
Okay, so this is the one that I really I'm iffy on it because it gets such good utility. It gets U-turn, it gets stuff like Sunny Day. Like, it's a really good moveset on a Pokemon. It's just bad typing, and its stat distribution isn't good enough for it to justify its typing.
I completely agree. I could see that, like, in Terra, I think this thing would be like fire
100%.
But I would say this thing's like UU at best. If we're like kind of like bringing like Smogon rating into this, like I could see this thing being like UU or honestly maybe even more RU, because the defenses aren't terrible, but they're not great. And Fire Ice typing, it's a very cool typing, and offensively it's amazing. Defensively, it's just not great. I don't even think like Intimidate or Flame Body is enough to help it, because you're weak to so much. Like, you're neutral to fire now. Your only like dual resist is ice, which is fine, I guess, but you're weak to water, 4 times weak to rock, weak to ground, neutral to steel now. What else is there? I mean, you do really good against a lot of types too, like offensively. But if we look at these stats, like 120 special attack's nice. I'm sorry, 105 speed. It's not enough in today's power
you need more speed.
Yeah.
That's the only problem that I have with it. And plus, a lot of its attacks, like, that have priority, U-turn and E-speed, you're going based off of a 70 base attack when it wants to be a special attacker.
Yep, I agree.
It's probably the worst out of them, in my opinion.
No, I fully agree. I think it's easily the worst out of them competitively. And it's funny, like, you're right, the move pool is so great because you got like such good like support moves. I would never run this thing as a support Pokemon. Ever.
Absolutely not.
Ever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like Will-O-Wisp is nice, but I mean, like all it takes is like a Lycanroc to just Accelerock you and you're gone, or like a rock. I mean, a lot of Pokemon we're seeing use Rock Blast thanks to loaded dice, so it's like it's a little rough. I don't know, what would you say it's like, are you or you? It's definitely not OU. I was gonna say are you, low-key.
I would definitely just say are you. It doesn't get enough. The good stab that it gets is Flamethrower and Ice Beam, which is amazing utility. It just doesn't have.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you get Flare Blitz at least, but like
it doesn't want to use it.
Oh wait, no, you're right. You're so right. I just realized, yeah, because it's special attack. I was thinking regular Arcanine. You're right. Yeah. I mean, maybe on a Hail team, it would be a lot better. But like, or not a Hail, sorry, Snow team. Maybe on a Snow team, I think it'd be a lot better because you get. I mean, you wouldn't be able to use Snow Cloak in most formats, but Intimidate plus the defense boost would low-key help. But and like you never miss Blizzard, but even then, it's like. Why do that when you could do a Sun team? And there's better fire types than this, you know?
I would rather use Hisuian over.
Yeah. I'd agree, which, it's a shame because I really love the Fire Ice combo.
It's a really cool combo, it's just not good.
Yeah, no, it's not a good... Well, okay, I have a hot take. I think Fire Ice could be a great type combination, but you have to use it on a Pokemon that's like Weavile-esque. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A Pokemon that like, you know you're not living more than like a hit unless you have Focus Sash. You're just there to like be faster than everyone else, do insane amounts of damage, and then just die. And I don't think this thing's stats help with that at all.
No, it does not have the stats for it. If it had... Give it 120 speed and get rid of some of the HP or defense, and then I'd say it's nuts.
I'd agree completely. So, alright, we're going to say Arcadian Arcanine. We're going to put it in RU in our opinion. This next one's actually my personal favorite. I don't know about you, but this one's my personal favorite. Arcadian Gengar. This is the one I wanted the most. I want this thing to be so good, so bad. I think the move pool's great. The abilities, like Curse Body's whatever. Filter's nice, but I think like you almost have to run Levitate on this thing.
Yeah, you have to run Levitate. There's
no like no way
that's
around
the only thing
it.
that makes it viable.
Yeah. I also I think this thing is another like maybe this thing's UU. I low-key think it's kind of RU because I think it's forced to pretty much... It's kind of like Typhlosion syndrome. You're forced to be a Choice Scarf user. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, look at this 80 speed. Like, you are forced to be a Choice Scarf user. Like, 130 special attack is nice. And, like, your defenses aren't... They're not great. They're not terrible. Like, they're so-so. But you have to be a Choice Scarf user. I don't know. Is that you share the same opinion? What it's going through your brain?
You need it. It has such good utility. It's exactly like Hisuian Arcanine, where it has such good utility. It just doesn't want to do that.
Yeah. I think I feel bad for Arcadian Gengar because, like I said, it's my favorite. I think Ghost Electric's a really cool typing. I think it's a solid typing too. Especially with Levitate, that's 3 immunities right off the gate, and it would be super easy to switch this thing in on any normal fighting or ground moves. And like honestly, even like it has the bulk to where even like non-super effective moves, like things you can resist, like electric type moves or like poison type moves, you could honestly switch into those fine. But yeah, you are forced to always run Choice Scarf on this thing. But 130 base special attack, you got Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball for great stab. You got Will-O-Wisp and Hex. You got Sludge Bomb. You even got Electro Ball, which pairs really nicely with Choice Scarf. And then like Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball for some reason. And then, I mean, if you wanted to run this thing supportive, you totally could. I don't think the bulk is really there for being supportive, but...
I'd honestly just say it's low tier UU Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, like kind of like it's I would agree. Like it's too good to be RU. It honestly might even be like RUBL. Like,
Yeah.
but I'll give it. I'm gonna say UU with you. I'm just gonna say UU just because I think just being able to have a choice scarf user that can come in fairly, not super easy, but fairly easier, is extremely helpful and super nice. And you got good moves that you would love to have like choice scarf on this thing. You know what I mean? Like just very spammable moves. So yeah, we'll give it UU, and then you can lead. You lead this next one, Arcadian Dragonite.
Okay, so this one is probably, I think it's the best one in my opinion.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I really like the Dragon Ghost typing, and multi-scale makes it so good.
Yep.
And the utility that it wants to be a physical attacker, but it also has a 120 special attack. So you get Ice Punch, Ice Beam, Flamethrower. You get so many good utility.
Yep.
You get Body Press on it too if you want to run a tanky one with multi-scale. It has so much going for it that you could even go for Ominous when Omni Boost if you wanted to.
Right.
It's a really good.
I'm just trying to look here. I don't think it gets any recovery. Which, that's my only problem.
It gets rest.
Oh. Yeah, but like it doesn't get like Roost or Recover like normal Dragonite. But
that is
I think you're like right on the money though. Like the move pool, this is the best move pool we've seen in my opinion. Just because you could even be a mix attacker if you really want. You know what I mean? You can be like, you have options. Like, yeah, your physical attack's higher, dude. Your special attack's not too far behind, and you could easily go like. There's a ton of things that you could do with this thing. Multi-scale lets it get in like super easily, lets it tank a hit. Funny enough, I think like the major counter to this thing is like Dragon Dart's Dragapult, which is hilarious because that's another Ghost Dragon type. But I mean, yeah, and like even if you wanted to be supportive, your bulk isn't phenomenal, but with multi-scale, it makes your bulk good. So you could like, you got like nice options. I definitely think though, like physical sets like Ice Punch, you even get like Dragon Tail for phasing, Iron Head for coverage. Like it's nice. Shadow Claw, it's nice. Extreme Speed.
Yeah, Extreme Speed too. It's just a really good alternative to Dragapult.
Yeah, I could see it being like more of a. I don't think it's as good as Dragapult.
No.
But I think it's like a nice little like alternative to Dragapult. I think, in my opinion, the big thing that this thing is missing is a better recovery move. Something like Recover or Roost, I think would make this thing. I would say OU if it had better recovery. Just because, like, look at, like, Dragonite and Lugia, the other multi-scale Pokemon. They love having Roost. Granted, they're flying types, so they get that, like, little benefit to help with multi-scale and recovering. But I think, like, having solid recovery on any multi-scale mon, no matter the typing, is... that puts you at such a great advantage because you can re-proc that multi-scale. Yeah, you could use, like, Resto Chesto on this thing and get that multi-scale back, but, like...
and you're wasting a move slot.
And an item slot. Yeah, I would even argue a move slot as well. Like, I just think... I'm going to say, personally, I think UU for this thing, and I think it's one of the... like, it's a fantastic UU mon.
Yeah.
I just... without that, like, recovery, and its defenses aren't, like, they're solid, and like I said, multi-scale makes them a lot better, but still, I don't know, this thing gets Dragon Dance, right, or no? I see Dragon Claw, I don't see D-Dance.
I don't know if it gets D-Dance.
No, it doesn't get D-Dance. Oh. Yeah, if this thing got, like, recovery or D-Dance...
If it got better, yeah, The best thing it gets is agility.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say UU because I think this thing, if
Yeah.
you're not getting a recovery move, you should have D-Dance to pair with multi-scale. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Where are you rating them?
I'd say like UU, maybe UUBL if it's.
Oh, okay.
It really depends. Just because I know multi-scale on this could make it a real threat, just because of how much utility it has. You're
Right.
not knowing what it's running. It's kind of like a Dragapult, just a little bit worse in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Okay, gotcha. So Arcadian Dragonite. Next up, now this is an interesting one because this is the one that the owners, whenever they were showing me these, they believe that this is their strongest and their best one, which I'm interested in your opinion because I know you said you thought maybe the Arcadian Dragonite was the best one. So I'm kind of, what are your thoughts on Arcadian Snorlax looking at this thing?
My main drawback that I wouldn't say it's the best one is just giving it the normal fighting type. If it was
Honestly,
pure
yeah.
fighting or your normal, it would be fantastic. It wouldn't get the stab, but I would rather have, because it doesn't get any normal moves that it wants to use. It gets Body Slam, but it doesn't get like
it doesn't get
Facade or
Facade,
anything.
right? Yeah, to pair with Guts. That's really
it wants
true.
to run Guts. So why waste that normal typing when you can just be solid fighting?
It's funny too because I also think Guts kind of I don't know. I think it's a really good Snorlax upgrade. You know what I mean? Like it's a good take on Snorlax, but it does share funny enough, it shares a lot of the same problems that like Snorlax has. Like the Snorlax has great special defense, but lacking like regular defense. This thing's the opposite of that. I think the normal fighting type, I mean, yeah, you got some weaknesses. Granted, like Psychic's not all too common, but still, like that's still a weakness. Especially,
Psychic, and then you have flying too.
yeah,
which
that's the major one for me. I think yeah, it's just it has a rough time. I don't know. I do agree though. I think this is their best one, just because like I know it doesn't get Facade, but Guts is kind of nice here, dude.
No, it's definitely nice. I'm more of a reserved type of player in that aspect, so I like having to not run a Flame Orb or something like that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think even without Flame Orb though, like I think Thick Fat helps it get switch-ins. It's got bulk up, so you don't even have to like EV its defense all too much. You could go like max special defense investment and like maybe even like a plus special defense nature and run a bulk up set to kind of help like counteract like obviously there's only so much you can do to help like a really bad special defense, but still like that I think that's super viable.
Well, for sure.
You get Heavy Slam, which is good. Your move pool is great. I like the priority Mach Punch. I think let's see, you get like Iron Head, Outrage, you get Close Combat on this thing, which is like pretty hilarious. But yeah, other than that, like I agree with you. I think, in my opinion, I think the best sets might not even be the Guts ones. I think it's low-key like Thick Fat, Special Defensive, with like maybe bulk up Drain Punch.
Drain Punch, yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of going there. You could use like Body Slam to try and get you like some paras. If you want that utility, or like obviously you got great coverage here. You got Throat Chop, Earthquake. You even got like CC for if you just want to go like spammable. The only reason I don't like Close Combat on this thing is well, I guess Close Combat works here because it's not like spammable because you don't have the speed, but at least you're going last, so that way you can tank a hit and then use Close Combat and then get the defense drop. But I still think bulk up Drain Punch is the move. Iron Hedge is great coverage because we didn't even talk about the fairy weakness this thing has, which spoiler alert, like fairy weaknesses are rough. No kidding. Gets acrobatics, so if you did want to run, does it get it gets rest. If you wanted to run like Resto Chesto acrobatics, like you could. But
it's good in Dynamax too.
yeah, I think it's
You get
fine.
the
I think
speed
it's
and-
fine in Dynamax. I still think though, even like getting a couple, I don't know, getting a max airstream boost, you're
It's
still
not gonna do anything.
yeah, it's still not gonna.
70 speed isn't terrible though.
It's not great though.
Yeah.
It's not great. But yeah, I don't know. Where would you rate this thing though? Like, where in your opinion, like competitively, like you look at this thing, where do you see it?
I would say if we want to go Gen 9, I'd say like UUBL.
I was
Kind of like Dragonite.
I was gonna say UU. Funny enough though, I think this thing with Terra would be insane.
Oh, absolutely.
Like-
Getting rid of the normal flying type and putting something like Steel or Fairy on it.
I think Fairy would be such a good Terra type on this thing, or even like low key, Ghost wouldn't be bad either. Just because like you could be immune to like the close combat, or even like Focus Blast, like too. Like Focus Blast destroys this thing. But I think like Terra Fairy, Terra Water even would be gnarly on this thing, just to kind of give you like better defensive typing to maybe get some bulk ups up, and go from there. So I think this is the Pokemon that you really have to like see in another format. I think as it stands right now though in Pixelmon, I think it's UU.
Oh, for sure.
I can't justify putting in OU. I think with Terra though, this would be the strongest Pokemon.
Oh, for sure. It would be insane.
Yeah, I agree. But that's pretty much it. So just kind of doing a quick overview. We put Arcanine in RU, Gengar in RU, Dragonite in UU, Arcadian Snorlax in UU, which, in my opinion, I think those are super fair rankings. And I know it might come to you viewers as like a little bit of a, I guess like a bummer, like, oh, like you guys aren't ranking any of these like OU. Here's the thing. I'd rather these custom forms come in underpowered and get room for some buffs in the future than come in super overpowered and then just like have to be like nerfed to oblivion, nerfed to nothing. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather them come in like this at like a RU level, so that way if they do want to make, and that's assuming they do want to make changes, maybe they don't, because I think a lot of people too, especially nowadays, which is super weird, kind of get like a bad idea and like, oh, if you're RU or UU, you must be terrible. No. That's a whole different metagame. That's a good thing. There's multiple metagames for a reason. Feraligatr is my favorite Pokemon of all time, and for years he was UU, just recently dropped down to like RU or NU. But I love using him in those lower tier metagames of UU and RU because, I mean, he shines in those. He's not going to shine in something like OU, and I think that's the beauty of the tiering that like Smogon has, and how things are kind of run in competitive Pokemon right now, is that way if you do like a Pokemon, it is in a lower tier, play the lower tier metagame. Just because it's not this like OU staple doesn't mean it's going to be a terrible Pokemon. So I definitely think, and if they do want to make changes though, I mean, we kind of provided like our thoughts. But even if they don't want to make the changes, I think keeping them RU-UU level is fine, because imagine they do a RU-UU tournament and these things are amazing. Plus, these are our predictions. We could be totally wrong. And plus, we don't even have Terra and Pixelmon. So, I literally think something like Snorlax would be so much better in Terra. But yeah, I mean, do you have any closing thoughts, Balak?
No, I think you kind of summed it up. The Pokemon they're good. I've been running through with a Dragonite and a Gengar, and I really enjoy using them. It's just, once you get to the competitive level, they're not very viable.
Yep. So, with all that said, do you have anything you want to shout out, Balak? Any video, a YouTube channel, anything going on?
Yeah, I'm going to be making a video for my Season 4, but honestly, just a shout out to HEXMC. It's been really fun
Yes.
playing it. I put in like 20 hours in the past couple of days. It's insane, but
Which is
it's
crazy.
so fun.
No,
It's just so fun.
It's super fun. It really is. So like Balak said, shout out HEXMC. Make sure you guys join their Discord, link in the description, as well as join the server. Have a good time. Even if you want to wait till the server fully releases on May 18th, we will see you guys there. And if you guys want to do a cool little thing, if you guys get a safety goggles, wear it. Find me or Balak, say what's up. It's kind of like our trademark, wearing safety goggles. We've done that since the Pixelmon tournaments. Actually, Balak's the one that started it. I got into it. Now we got me, Balak, and Lucy have our own goggles gang going on. But yeah, make sure you say what's up to us on HEXMC. Make sure you guys have a good time playing it. I'm super excited. HEXMC, again, thank you for the opportunity as always, and great job on the new forms. I'm excited to see what you guys cook up next. That's gonna do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, check out one of these videos here on screen right now, and yeah, look forward to Balak's Pixelmon Season 4 video as well as mine, and more HEXMC content. We'll see you guys there. Take care.